And what I mean by that is he got here last year, right? And he had 6 great weeks in August and September. And we were like, he's Steven Gerrard. he's he's Gerrard 2.0. And what I think we forgot was like, yeah, he's an international talent, but he's a 22-year-old kid moving to a new country who's
Yeah.
at the biggest club he's ever been at. And now he's a 24-year-old with 18 months under his belt, understands the club, understands the players, and more importantly, let's be real. I think he's got a manager who's carved out a role that makes sense for him to play in. I don't ever think he was a fit in Jurgen Klopp's 4-3-3. And I think at times we wanted him to be this like attacking midfield number 10, like he was going to be Messi. And it's like, that's not what Slot wants him to be either. But
Yeah.
now he's playing in that area off the striker. He drifts out to the right. He runs into space. He creates for Mo. I just feel like in some ways, there's times he's playing like a dual 8. I think at times he's playing off the striker.
Feels
At
to me
times,
like he's running point, like a point guard.
Yeah.
I think he's the most important person in the setup, and I don't even think it's a question. I would say this right now: as important as Virgil and Mo Salah are, I honestly believe in a big match, the first name on the team sheet is Dominic Szoboszlai, and it all gets built around him.
See, I would say I was actually thinking of asking that question. You already gave your answer, I guess. If you had to pick one of those three midfielders and said he has to be out there, my guy would be. I know it's like an odd choice because the
McAllister.
other guys get too much. I would say Mac.
Would
Who do
you?
you put, Bickler? Just because I see his when he's not there, especially in the build-up, you can see it immediately. In the counter press, you can see it immediately.
I
I mean,
think what
but
we're
when you talk
really
about like
asking.
running point, I almost like I know what you mean, and I agree with the Szoboszlai thing. But I feel like what's without Mac, we're a lot more closer to like club style basketball. We turn into a bit more of a basketball team at times. I mean, we lose our pace. Whereas there are some things that Mac can do at times. He just does one pass. It's almost like the point guard coming back around and calling a play, and we're doing like the set offense kind of a thing, as opposed to just running like a maniac back and forth, like Szoboszlai would do, or sometimes even Gravenberg gets caught up in it.
So I would still say Szoboszlai. I'll tell you why. I think what we're really doing is we're just, and this is nothing against McAllister. I think both, like the thing is you can make the same argument for Gravenberg without him in the lineup. So I think what we're really asking, we're just reframing the question, is where is the biggest drop off when they're not in the lineup, right? Like to me, Mac is playing in a double pivot, and we essentially have four midfielders that you can play in some capacity in that role. We only really have one Szoboszlai who's playing almost like it's like a recessed 10 role essentially. Like, and we only really have one player that's capable of doing that for the duration of a match. I mean, I like Galley's shout out at Chiesa. I think I dropped it in the Discord like a couple matches ago, where like a lot of what Chiesa does is very similar to Szoboszlai in the way that he sort of operates in the half space between the midfield and the front line. But like without Szoboszlai, I just think the drop is so significant that you almost have to change the formation.